Ooh. Good Lord. More of the Minecraftness. I wonder if it would be that way if I went into OBS. It's ridiculous. I reduced, well, it's starting to get a little better. Of course, I've got some power-hungry folks here. Joseph Grohl, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to clear up just a little bit. I apologize for the Minecraftiness of the stream, but it's good to see you. Jenny Books and Blogs, hello. Thumbs up and high five to both of you. I miss you too. I miss you too, Joseph and Jenny and Angel. Angel's Army stopped in to say hello, which was super cool. Glad to have you all here. It's been a while because I mean, shit happens, and I've been pretty busy. But ultimately, the internet has sucked, and it's been very discouraging. I mean, if you go to R5 streams and you see some of the lives that I've done, you'll see that it gets pretty Minecrafty. Like it gets really pixelated, you know. But right now, it seems to be clear, which I'm very happy about. Strawberry shortcake. Hello, my special little strawberry shortcake. It is good to see you. How's life treating you today? I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Neighbor girl, hello and welcome. Great to see you. Terra Firma, much love to you, man. Great to see you. So for those of you that were in the live stream when I was streaming with R5 Adventures, aka Live with R5, I was talking about 9/11 and what it meant to me and what how I felt about certain things and remembering those that were lost and those that sacrificed themselves and whatnot. And it's going on Minecraft again. Damn it. Anyway, as long as you guys can still hear me, that's cool. So anyway, to make a long story short, I was also talking about how the current government is really just slapping themselves and us in the face about certain decisions they're making and certain things they've done. Afghanistan, the prime example of it all. Hey, Gemma Journey Grace, it's good to see you. Hello and woodle oodle oodle. Great to see you. I don't know. I might stop this and put on OBS. I'm not really 100% sure, but I was hoping to have a few people on. That's why I pinned the link at the top of the chat there. So if anybody wants to join me, feel free. You're more than welcome. But anyway, long story short, I'm very passionate. I'm a very passionate individual. And if something's really bothering me, it comes to the forefront, and it almost can seem abrasive at times. So if I seemed abrasive in Live with R5 stream, I do apologize. For me, it's all about freedom of choice. You know what I mean? As far as the vaccines and all that stuff go, it's about freedom of choice and being able to choose and not letting the government choose for you. That's the big thing for me. So anyway, with that being said, it's great to see each and every one of you. How was your weekend? Tell me how life is treating you today. Be fantastic. Now, Terra Firma, I hope you're doing okay. Tales of the Solstice told me she was a little worried about you. So that makes me a little worried about you. So make sure that you're okay. Moon, I don't know if you just heard Moon, but Moon says, yes, I'm worried about you too. So make sure that you say you're okay or something. Oh, look, it's clear again in the chat. And speaking of clear, look, it's Gemma Journey Grace.
Hey, what's up?
It's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. How are you?
Doing good. Good. I got to blow my nose. It's that time of year, allergies.
Yeah.
Hold on. Excuse me, pardon me.
Hey, Joseph. Hey, Jenny.
Who do we got here? Hello. How are you? Good.
Oh, it's not easy to meet at this circumstances. I didn't know if you read in the chat. My mom passed away on Friday. It's been really rough for me.
Oh
I'm
my God,
sorry.
man. I am so sorry.
That's awful.
Yeah, I was on Cab's what was it earlier what was it? Day was that I talked to him about it.
Hey,
Was it
Tails
Friday
and
night or
Terraformer.
Saturday night? Anyway, it's been really rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've lost some really. I mean, I've never lost anybody quite as close as one of my parents, so I can only speculate how you're feeling. I mean, I my heart goes out to you, man. Seriously.
Thank you. I know you guys always help me through, and it really helps a lot.
Yeah. It's really
And you're always
sad.
welcome. And I'm glad you came up here. You know what I'm seeing? It's sometimes it's nice to talk about things and get things off your chest, even if it's super painful,
I was always there for her and helped her and take care for her, and it was just rough to see her go.
Yeah.
Hey, Crazy Ann.
Hey, Crazy Ann, how's life treating you? Psh, yeah, Raymond the closest person would be probably my wife's grandmother. She ended up living with us the last 5 or 6 years of her life. I took the last year off of work to stay home and take care of her. And just, I hear you, just happened to see it happen. It's just, you can't, there's nothing you do. You have that feeling of hopelessness. But
it's sad.
But nonetheless, I do want to say that you have a lot of friends here. You've got a lot of friends. I'm sure Cab was right there helping you out and telling you, we're here for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's really good about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the community is quite good when it comes to that kind of, like, when people lose people. Like Gil was there when I lost my grandmother. She died of dementia 3 years ago this year. So quick since that's happened. But I remember I came onto YouTube, I think it was the day of or the day after, and I just sat there going, what the hell do I do now? And it's kind of just, boom, everything just came out. I was like,
it's hard because you're at a hard stop at life. When you lose somebody that close, it's like, how do I move on?
Yeah, and I've just had to learn to deal with it, I guess.
And there's no easy answer for anybody. I can't sit here and tell anybody how to move on, but just one day at a time, and let your friends support you and guide you and fill your heart with love, and believe it or not, it helps.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, friendship is really important. I know, especially for me, it's really helped me cope with a lot of things.
So did everybody bring their coffee with them today?
I haven't got coffee, but I've got Coke.
All right, fair enough. There's caffeine in that. That's okay. Raymond, I've got extra coffee for you if you need it.
I'm not a coffee fan. I like orange juice or Mountain Dew.
All right. Well, Mountain Dew. I think Mountain Dew has caffeine in it.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay. Well, you're good. You got a caffeine beverage.
Yeah.
Junior A Cat, hello. Thumbs up. High five. Great to see you.
I know, Gil, you were just talking about, obviously, the September the 11th kind of remembrance stuff, and I was watching some footage of a BBC tribute yesterday. The Queen of the UK actually had an event put on in Windsor. There was a military parade, guns and cannons and all that kind of stuff, which went on for like 3 hours yesterday.
That's all for because of 9/11. That's awesome.
Yeah, the UK, I know we only lost a really, really small majority of people, so I can't imagine how you guys start to feel yesterday, but I know that we lost 68 people that day who were Britons who were working there. So for us, it was just a little small number of people, but we still know what it's like to lose people. So, hey, Ralph.
And I love when, well, we talk about communities coming together when, our friends or loved ones are in crisis. I mean, the same could be said for countries as well. I mean, my God,
absolutely.
So that's just a great example of it, Gemma.
Yeah, so I actually wrote a poem in tribute to you guys yesterday. As Gil knows, I write a lot of my own poetry. I've been writing now for about 3 years on and off.
Are you going to share Are you going to share with us today?
Yeah, if Gil wouldn't mind, I'm just going to share this one poem, and it's called "Let's Remember the 9/11 Angels." I called it. It says, "Let's remember the 9/11 angels, angels that day who risked their lives to help others in need. In need when America come together, united in love and friendship above all else. People serving their country and serving each other. Their daily work routine, including their friends and family. Friends which started out to be a normal day, a day which then changed into a tragedy beyond what anybody could have thought. Thought the emergency responders and public came together to support and search for loved ones, not knowing what to do or what to say. We have to remember all these special angels who will always be people's sons and daughters, doing what they loved. They will always be remembered for their dedication and their passion, trying to make the world a better place. Together, the USA, the UK, and all around the world, we stand together hand in hand in love, showing that we are stronger together, united. We are strong. Our angels make it our duty to be united. A united front working together. We stand now is the time to see change. We will always be remembering them in our hearts. Let us remember these angels who sadly lost their lives. They'll always forever be in our hearts. We stand together knowing that you're never alone. We are holding hands around the world in love and in unity. We will remember them."
I want to say amen after that, because that sounds more like a prayer to me than a poem. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
I wrote that yesterday morning when I was watching the TV.
Wow. Guys, let us know in the chat what you thought of that too. That was absolutely amazing. I think what makes it all worse is I love seeing the unity, but at the same time, what makes it all worse is all of I was saying this before. I said this in our 5 Adventures stream. It's the choices that our government makes. I flat out said that I was ashamed of the U.S. right now. It's not because of the citizens or the military or the police or firefighters or any of that. I love our country because we have a beautiful country. I'm ashamed of our politicians. I'm ashamed of our politicians and government for making the choices they make and their inability to make choices. There's no unity there. There hasn't been for quite some time, and the choices they make seems counterproductive to the best interests of its citizens.
Absolutely. It's like what I felt yesterday more than ever was seeing the unity from the US footage that I watched here and then also the UK footage, and it was like mirroring each other. It was seeing you guys support each other, hugging each other, being able to go out and speak to people, and the UK were like, hey, we may not be as effective as you guys were that day, and you guys always will be, but at the same time, we did lose 68 of our own people, so it's kind of, we know the pain and the loss and the searching, and like the Queen said, it was a day of national mourning. We mourned for you guys. We were there to sympathise, and the Queen even put down a wreath on a statue, and that wreath is being sent over to the States as far as I'm aware. So it's very, very important to our monarchy and our country. We do respect the States massively, especially yesterday.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 20 years. I remember the day it happened. I was working at Sam's Club, of all places. I was working at Sam's Club. I was working at the cash register, and I had a clear view of all the televisions, because back then they had the TVs running and they were facing the cashiers, and it wasn't too far away. We noticed a lot of people amassing in the television sets. We're like, what's going on here? So somebody finally came over and told us, it was like, the U.S. is under attack. I remember the towers have been hit. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I remember that day clearly. I actually was going to have my mum's dog put to sleep because my mum's dog had turned a bit violent, and my mum was heavily pregnant with my brother at the time. And we took the dog to the vet, and he said, well, there's 2 options. Put the dog on behaviour tablets and monitor him for 2-3 months, but because you're so heavily pregnant, we don't want to risk it. The best thing would be to put him down. So we put him down. I think it's about an hour before the news and everything started coming out, and we got home, and my nana, God bless her soul, she's not here anymore, but she turned around and said to me, and it made me laugh at first. She's like, "Oh, Gemma, I'm watching this film. Oh my god!" And I'm like, "What film?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna." I went to the room to see what she had on. I'm like, "This isn't a film, Nan. This is BBC News. This is live. Like, this is not a joke." And she's like, "Oh, look, planes." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is not great. Like, this is bad, real bad." And all of a sudden, it was like one tower down. I'm like, "Oh no!" I sat there going to my nan, I'm like,
Yeah.
"You have no clue what's happened, do you?" And she goes, "What?" I went, "The US has just been attacked." And then all of a sudden, it's like every single news channel for the next probably 10, 12 hours is like America, 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 America. I'm like, "Oh my god!" It was just, it was
a
awful.
very hectic day, that's for sure.
Hey, Andrew.
I want to welcome a few people in here. I saw a bunch of people come in, so I want to say hello to Boomer D. Welcome, my friend. Great to see you. We got Metal Music Maniac in his house. I created a tribute yesterday of it. I choked up each time I watched up. Why? Yeah, I can imagine. I hear you, Metal. It's very close to my heart too, and I try to keep myself in check whenever I'm talking about it, because I'll do the same thing. I start getting very passionate. I start raising my voice, and it's not like toward anyone. It's just that I'm so damn passionate about it. Andrew Fishman, it's good to see you. Welcome, my friend. Great to have you. Purple Tube, wonderful to see you. Thumbs up and a high five. Ralph Morick, if I didn't say hello to you, it is great to see you. It's always good to see you. I remember expecting Bruce Willis to pop up on the screen. It was like watching yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what my nan said.
I want to reiterate that I pinned the link to the panel in the at the top of the screen here, at the top of the chat. So if anybody wants to come up and just be respectful, even if your opinions differ from mine or anybody else on the panel, come on up and speak your mind about what's happened on 9/11 and the remembrance. If you want to talk about the remembrance, if you've had anybody there or were there and you want to talk about it, that'd be awesome. Just be respectful about it, and the some of the decisions that the government's making nowadays. If you want to talk about that too, if you can find justification in some of these things that seem clearly wrongdoing, feel free to enlighten us, because we clearly need enlightening in some way, shape, or form, right? So yeah.
Hey, Go Fish! Thank you for the raid.
Go Fish! Thank you so much for the raid. Much love to you. Thumbs up and a high five, along with. Toyman's in his house. Good to see you, Toyman.
Yeah, I did a short video on YouTube about it's a tribute to 9/11.
Good morning.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
No, don't be sorry. It's okay. Raymond, what were you saying?
I did a tribute to 9/11. It's a song by Billy Ray Cyrus. It's called "Some Gave All."
Yes, I love that song.
I did a short tribute, and then I did a full tribute. Most of it on TikTok. I don't know if you use TikTok. I like TikTok too.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool format. Yeah. And then I do DLive, and I do a lot like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I know a lot of yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had much time in the last 24 hours to kind of go around and see, because I'm sure some people made some really beautiful tributes and made some videos themselves about how they feel about it.
Hi, Ron.
I'm going to have to make a point to do that today and make sure that, I put my thumbs up and my comment in there.
I might upload my poem today. I wasn't sure if to upload it or not. I kind of had doubts about uploading it, but I think I might upload it today anyway.
You should upload it, because it is beautiful, Gemma. You spent all that time doing it, and it, like I said, it was so good. It sounded more like a prayer than a poem, but it's definitely a poem.
Yeah,
and Mr. Harris, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, so it is good to see you, my friend.
Good to
Raymond
see you.
was in the middle of saying something.
It's been a long time since I seen you, Gil. How you doing?
I know. Likewise, it is good to see you as well. What's
Well,
new?
Well, I just got a new job.
Congratulations. What are you doing?
I'm gonna be an usher at the movie theater.
Really? That's awesome. You know,
Yep.
you have the power, my friend. You got the power. I was like, no, you can't watch this movie. Get the hell out, buddy.
Is it a big theater or a classic theater?
I think it's like probably like a big theater. It's the one with Regal.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one I'm working.
Well, congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. I hope that they give you like free snacks and stuff because it's outrageously expensive for the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they gotta see what days I might work. I mean, that's just the thing.
So just throw me some popcorn every now and then.
Exactly.
Just try to get all the freebies you can. Here you go.
Gemma, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, Mr. Fulton Rice. I've been busy working on some new poetry today that I'm planning to test out on a live stream. I've written, including the one that I just read out. I've got like 5 new ones that I've written in the last few days. So,
guys, I want to say real quick. I want to say real quick. Make sure that you guys check out if you haven't done so already. I know a lot of you have, but for those of you that haven't, make sure you check out Toyman Bar and Grill and you check out Go Fish Office. They've been working really hard, and I think they did a collab recently. I haven't had the liberty of checking out yet, but I will. They've been working really hard on their channels, and I really think you should check them out. They're both good channels, so there.
Yeah, their collab was great. I watched that yesterday.
I'm sorry, I interrupted somebody.
No, I was just backing you up saying about Go Fish. I watched their collab video yesterday when it got uploaded. I went and watched Go Fish's video.
I did a video yesterday of trying something very human, hot, and spicy, and it's called one of those shrimp tacos.
Oh my goodness, shrimp tacos!
Oh, that sounds nice.
Well, you know,
I would try tacos? I would try.
We have tacos over here, but I've never thought about putting shrimp into a taco. I'm really gonna have to try it now. It actually sounds really nice.
I mean, really, you can put just about anything in a taco and make it taste good. I mean, tacos are one of those universal things, right? You hear the word taco, you're like, all right, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Anywho, so Mr. Fulton Merez,
yes.
Am I mistaken? I might be mistaken, but I heard a rumor that you were up for American Idol again.
Yeah. They said I have to wait until like 2 weeks, so they can tell me if I get go to the next round. But I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, the waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Cosma Black the Bunny. Hello. I've been slowly upping my percentages of his bossy time. So he's been pretty happy. He's been hanging around here again. Yes.
Welcome back, Boomer.
Boomer, it's good to see you again, bud. Don't forget, guys, there's a link to the panel up at the top if you are interested in coming on up. We don't have to talk about politics or even 9/11. If you just want to come up and say hello, you're certainly more than welcome to do so.
But we went to a Journey tribute last night.
Journey?
Yep.
Rock on.
I got all the film from yesterday, so you guys can watch.
I got to put like a smiley face on Slappy. This is Slappy. You guys know. Everybody's been watching my streams for a while knows this is Slappy, right? I should put a smiley face up here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
This is he could be my alter ego. Start talking. Just don't question why my lips are moving.
Yeah,
while
me
he's talking,
and you need to do our the little poetry show we talked about a while back. We talked about doing a show together. We haven't managed to do that yet.
Do that, Gemma. Yes, we do.
Yes.
And speaking of having to do it, we got to welcome Boomer D.
Yes.
Hey,
What's up?
Good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I got a bit of time to kill, so I figured I'd pop up and say hey to everybody.
I'm glad you did. You honor
Hey,
us,
brother,
my friend.
how are you?
How's life treating you?
Yeah, it's moving along.
I
So
hear
we
you.
got to do something about that. I think we all feel that way, Boomer. It's like, we got to move it up a few notches,
Hi,
right?
John
How are we going
Miles.
to do that?
Well, I mean, there's just been some development in the last month or so here that kind of puts a damper on things, but I don't want to get into it. So
Okay. All right. Sorry, I was a little distracted there. I understand. If you don't want to talk about it, it's all good. It's all good. It's all about just making people smile and having a few laughs in here to be kind of a distraction anyway, right?
yeah. I come here to just get my mind off of everything else.
There you go. Fair enough. It's a little early for me to switch it up to beer, but I will have a sip of coffee in your honor, good sir.
Oh, here we go. Got the Folgers.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta love it.
Got the
Gotta love
coffee, huh?
it. Raymond.
Hi, Kazma. How you doing? Boom is another person that I need to work on some poetry streams with because me and Boomer used to do a lot of them. I need to do that again.
I'm slowly trying to get back into the YouTube circuit, doing more live streams and hanging out with people. I've had my own demons to wrestle as well, but I'm trying to pull out of it, man. There's more to life than just all that negative crap, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sure that. Yeah, I had to take a break. I just now came back after a month or so, a little over a month of taking a break from DLive live streaming. I just came back this week live streaming, and just sometimes you just need to back away and chill out. I mean, I don't even do anything on YouTube other than go check out other people's channels that I don't see on DLive, but
I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I have not been on DLive in a very long time.
Yeah, I noticed.
Not any disrespect toward anybody that's on DLive. I just don't think of it that way. You know what I mean? It's
weird. I mean, YouTube's your comfort zone. Well,
YouTube is where everything is currently at.
Hey, Tom.
I did create a channel over on DLive, and I did go live a few times, but it's like starting over there. You know what I mean? Tom Andrews, it's good to see you, my friend, and hanging with John Wild. Welcome. I have not seen you in a while. Glad to see you, my friend.
Yeah, he said he's just returned from a social media break, so he's just come back.
Everybody's got to do it and reset. I had to reset. You know what? One of the big things that really turned me off was all the drama that came from the grow streams. All the drama that came from the grow streams.
Yes.
I lost my enthusiasm and drive to continue with YouTube.
Yeah.
I still wanted to do it, but it was like, Boomer.
Well, guess skills. I better get going. So I'll talk to you later, bud.
Fulton, you have a good day, good sir. Make sure you have a good
Bye,
day.
Mr. Fulton.
Make sure you
I
have
will.
your caffeine.
I'll try. I might need a beer someday. So.
Well, hey, when that day arrives, you get your butt up on the Gill Skills live stream, and we'll have a beer together. We'll have a Coke.
I'm just gonna have one beer a day because my doctor said I can't have any more alcohol.
Well, you want to be careful. Yeah.
Moderation.
You become a lush, and it's not good. One beer a day is actually healthy.
Right.
But all right, well, you have a good day, Mr. Fulton Maras.
Hey,
Take care, buddy.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
say something, bud.
My biggest issue was that the fact that I'm primarily into the paranormal stuff, and I had to back away from that, with the live streams and just like I had to stop searching it out. Like I had to stop like physically like involving myself in it because of how it affects me and stuff like that. So I decided I was going to just quit altogether, but, talking to some people on other people's channels and stuff, kind of, pushed me to come back, and so I'm taking it a little bit at a time this time. I'm not going to overdo it. And,
Yeah.
you know,
I
It's
wouldn't
all about doing
necessarily.
things at your own pace.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's one of the big things about YouTube. Is like you get into YouTube and you see how fast some of these other people are growing, and you feel like you have to keep pace. And that's what burns a lot of people out, right?
Well,
Am I right?
well, I mean, that's not so much the issue for me, like, because I don't really pay attention to that. I'm not competitive and stuff like that. Although, you know, the harsh competitiveness, you know, like the paranormal community is like the most competitive, you know, on social media. Everybody's trying to outdo the next guy. Everybody's trying to discredit this guy and that, you know, that kind of shit. That's one side of it. But my issue was mainly like the more I'm around it, seeking it out, you know, actively being involved with it, you know, is what gets
Hey,
me,
WrestleMania.
you know, mentally and emotionally and you know, psychologically screwed up. You know, it's like, you know, being I get gifted is the word everybody uses for it. It, you know, it puts a toll on you. So the less I physically involve myself with it, the better it is. You know, so you know, because it can affect your physical health as well, or health as well. You know, dealing with paranormal and things like that. So
I hear you. When I started doing live streaming myself, it opens up a whole new
There's
realm.
really bad feedback. I can hear repeating voices.
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Okay. I think it was my microphone. Sorry about that.
I can
It's
turn
okay,
on my
no
speakers a little
Shoot,
bit.
I lost
too.
what I was saying. I get that squirrel mentality. Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. No worries.
What
And
was I
Boomer,
just talking about?
I want to correct Boomer a little bit because Boomer said about he's primarily paranormal. Not really, because Boomer does a lot of like poetry streams and he does a lot of like disability streams where he helps people like myself. So I wouldn't necessarily say Boomer is primarily paranormal, but
Well,
the main focus, yes.
I don't. I mean, I generally those topics I get myself involved with based on, you know, who how do I say it? Like for you, yeah, it would seem that way for you because when I go to your stream, I'm open to, you know, those particular topics, genres, or whatever. But on my own, by myself, for my channels, they've always been primarily paranormal.
Yeah.
And I'm mostly in the paranormal community.
Yeah, you are.
And I
Yeah.
have the art and stuff on the side, you know, like that I want the art to be bigger, but it's not. I mean, it's the way it is because that's the life I live. That's the life I lead. You know, when you're an empath, clairvoyant medium, like that, it is what you are. It's not what you do. Art is what I do. Writing poetry is what I do. The paranormal is what I am. Like I can't help it. I can't just say, "Hey, all right, cut it off now. Stop." You know.
No,
That's the biggest part of my life and what I do on social media. So
yeah, I was just trying to explain that you do a lot more than.
Let me ask you this because I'm trying to narrow the focus exactly what you mean. Like, are you talking about like the sheer amount of people and drama on the outside, or are you talking about the feedback that you're getting from all the people that you're encountering on YouTube as an empath? Is that what you're talking about? Which way is it?
No, I'm talking about how it physically affects me being involved with it. You know, you know, because it's draining. It drains your energy when you put yourself in that position where you're trying to communicate, you know, to a person when you got spirits coming at you trying to deliver a message. Okay, that's the biggest, hardest part. The people don't bother me. As far as that goes, the mediumship thing, it's all about, like, I can't stop it all the time. I can't stop it from coming forward. And the biggest trigger to that is associating with people on social media. And the more people I'm associating with on social media, the more active it becomes.
I would imagine that would be like white noise for you.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And then when you put the empath factor into the equation, right now, and it's even stronger when I'm person to person with somebody and physically, with them. But even via like this, being on a video call or whatever, I can pick it up as well. It's not as strong, but it's there. Like, I pick up, emotions from people constantly,
Yep.
And the more I'm involved with it on social media, the more people that get involved, the harder it gets, the more pressure I feel.
Which is, it's kind of ironic if you think about it, because on the YouTube platform or any social media platform, if people like what they see, they're going to be drawn to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to get more and more and more people. So it's like, it's a catch-22 for you.
You want the people there. You want the people there, but it's like, once it gets to be too many, it gets stressful and
Boomer brings up a good point, because for me, with regards to like reading people's emotions and people's intentions, it's really hard because, like Boomer says, when you get to know someone really well on a personal level, like me and Boomer do, and like me and you do, girl, that I can read pretty much a lot of people's emotions, but when it comes to me expressing myself, it gets so overwhelmed to a point where I'm like, whoa, I've got all this emotion for people, and I've got all this that I want to do and try and help people, but at the same time, it's kind of, where do you draw that line of going, okay, I want to help people, at the same time, how do I put myself back and not let myself get overwhelmed with it? So I can understand where Boomer comes from. So it is
I think one of the biggest drawbacks. I want to say something real quick, and then I want to welcome Raven. But I think one of the biggest drawbacks is, like, I don't have the ability that Boomer D does in terms of being an empath, but I do my best to try to read people. But you're not always right. You're always trying to determine, like, somebody could be saying one thing, but they could have an agenda and mean something completely different, be taking you down a bad path. So it's hard to determine that on YouTube. Yeah. And I think that makes it all harder for people.
I find that the only advantage I have with this, the rest of it is more of a curse. The only advantage I have is I can detect, deception. Okay, because if I'm picking up something opposite what you're telling me, obviously it's basically being a human lie detector. Because I could be back to back with somebody, not reading their body language, not looking at their eyes, and I could have them tell me a story. And I can tell them if they're bullshitting or not. And it pisses my niece off because I do it to her all the time. Every time she comes over and tries to feed me some bull, I tell her, you're lying. And, she won't admit it, but I know when she's lying because her emotions are giving her away. It's like, I know she's hiding something.
So you must be a hell of a poker player, Boomer.
I
do okay.
I'll tell you this. I see a lot of people who are bullshitting even on YouTube at times.
Welcome, Raven, by the way. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Raven.
Amy Goodrich, hello.
I mean, you really cannot be mad at so many people at times because it's hard to know what you're seeing is someone telling the truth or someone's giving you all this BS crap.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, like I said earlier, it's when you feel people's emotions, or for me, lack of sometimes when I'm trying to figure people out, and then I've found in the past that people will try and use my autism label against me, like, oh, well, you don't understand because you're on the spectrum. I'm like, don't try that with me, because I actually do feel emotions more deeply than anything, and the fact that it overwhelms me to such a point where boomerang, where I just go into a complete shutdown because I can't deal. I'm just gone.
Right.
I don't consider myself an empath, but I do get overwhelmed with negativity. When you see so much of it in your life, or if that's just the way things are going, and I have a tendency of withdrawing. I've withdrew from live streaming for a while just because of that. There was just so much negativity surrounding it.
There's going to be a lot of negativity on YouTube, and a lot of people don't realize that you've got to weigh out everything as much.
Right.
Well, here, Ralph, I agree with you to a point. See, here's the thing. The paranormal is just science that has not been properly explained yet. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, if we were to, take a Neanderthal and bring them to today's society, a lot of what we do today would be considered magic to them. Are you going to call what we do today BS? No. It's just science that we figured out. So we just need to figure it out. Am I wrong? Or am I? Did I blow that out my ass, Boomer? Because he's the empath.
Logical to me, bro. I mean, you can't explain it because you can't really study it. Right. You can only take somebody at the word when they say, well, I feel a presence among us, and there's no way to prove it. Really?
No, there's scam artists and charlatans in that field that give a lot of paranormal folks a bad name. Hell yes. But there is real stuff going on that we have not been able to explain yet scientifically. That doesn't mean that we won't. We just haven't done so yet.
Well, it's like, okay, Boomer, as a Christian myself, I seen things that a lot of people are not trying to explain. They're trying to debunk a lot of things.
Well, that's the first instinct in most people that don't believe something is possible. They're going to try to debunk. They're going to entrench themselves in their own belief and viewpoint.
Well,
can I also say something even further? Because I seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever heard Carl Tunkin from Fox News, who brought out a guy who from a Navy, showing a video that's supposed to be kind of a classified, and people are still trying to say, oh, that's something that is like someone literally posted something, or they would say, well, that's just something that somebody actually seen, or physical, or it's all delusion. A lot of people are saying too.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's difficult to tell the legit from the fakes. And
I think that makes it frustrating for a lot of people, which they can't determine who's telling the truth and not. And a lot of people just throw their hands up and say it's a bunch of hooey and they draw their own conclusions, whether it's right or wrong.
I'll tell anyone that's in this room, I'm willing to defend this guy. Even sometimes I don't always agree with him at times, because I think he knows what's happening out there, and I know what's really yet to come. And there's a lot of people are still trying to debunk a lot of things that are happening right now.
Right. Well, the way I see it, in order to get to the very bottom of it, you have to kind of start out with a debunking attitude. Like with the stuff I've caught on camera. On my nighttime camera, I had it rolling. My phone was unplugged and the cord was pulled aside, while I was out of the room. I can't explain that, but I spent hours and hours trying to debunk it first before I take claim to it being something other than scientific or something paranormal. I think a good investigator has to start with that mentality that let's first make sure before we make a claim to it being other than something scientific. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To prove it to myself. You know, I don't care about proving anything to anybody else. You know, they believe whatever they want. I'm not here to prove something or change somebody's mind about something. I'm here to prove to myself that what I saw or what I heard is in fact that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I was just laughing at what Gil's was saying right next to Gemma.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just my way of like. So we get entrenched in a subject like this, and it's really intriguing to us, but we might be losing some people in the chat. So I just offer a little distraction for everybody in the panel and the chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No disrespect to it.
It's all in a good thing. It's all in a good thing, and a lot of people need to get away from these things too.
I just kind of sensed that you were looking for a change of revenue here, you know, change of subject. So I just went in with it. You know?
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I mean, it's a great subject, and honestly, Boomer, I'd love to talk with you more in detail and have a dedicated stream for it, because I do believe there's more out there than what we see, and things that we don't quite understand. And having an insight of someone that is beyond the typical reading people's feelings and feeling people's feelings, there's a difference. And I would love to hear more about your insight at some point.
Well, I just started coming back to live streaming on DLive once a week for now. I'm coming back slow. Friday nights at 10, I have a live stream. I'll live stream every Friday at 10 on DLive. You know, I'll start out with a special guest. And then what I do is I do a panel, and it's paranormal. So if you're ever there one of these nights after the special guest and want to join the panel and have questions or just simply discuss things, you're more than welcome there. So
Sweet.
Well, coming from
DLive's another one of those things I need to revisit, because there's a lot of people that have jumped ship from YouTube and that are over there full time now.
Yeah. It's slowing down over there too. Trust me.
It's like slowing down on a lot of a lot of places, platforms, and stuff like that. A lot of people. Even despite what people think about people being kicked off of YouTube and stuff like that. That's been happening a lot.
Yeah.
I do both platforms. I do YouTube is my main place where I hang out, but I do DLive now. I started streaming there a couple of 3 weeks ago, and I talk to people, and I found DLive has actually been quite helpful, because my first stream, I was a nervous wreck over there, and now that I've got people who actually are talking me through it, Boom has been really helpful, talking me through certain things. I'm like, I didn't realise that I was capable of doing the same thing over there, but I try and mix it up a bit. Instead of just doing the focus stuff, I try and interact more with people and be a bit more open with my topics and stuff. So it's given me a different way of streaming.
Yeah.
Well, see, can I say something?
Go ahead, Raven.
Well, I understand a lot of history and stuff. Okay. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't see that's coming out of a lot of places too. And what my fear is our freedoms are being totally denied on a lot of these type of platforms.
Right.
John Wild, I agree with that statement. Let me put it up here so you guys know what I'm commenting on here. So he says he's a firm believer in the scientific community, only validates what suits them and their agenda. I have to agree with that. It seems to be more and more as time goes on. Politicians, scientists, big companies, you know what I'm saying? They all seem to have their own agenda, which is making money or patting somebody's pocket or whatever the agenda is, but it seems to be less and less for the betterment of mankind. There's very few people in this world right now that I feel is, expanding our knowledge and making improvements for the pure betterment of mankind, and that's a shame. It really is.
It is sad. Because, I know a guy on YouTube here. I'm not going to say his name. He's a good friend of mine. And he always says, shop your local business, try to support your local people instead of the big men, like the big stores or the big companies.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, I
Right.
shop at big companies and stuff, but it's sad.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I agree. One person that I'm a little flippy on, but I'm more toward the side where he genuinely wants to help people. This may be a controversial subject, but Elon Musk.
Oh no.
Elon Musk has a degree of
Yeah.
autism. Yeah, he has a degree of auticity. He does have autism, but he's doing so
Debatable.
much. What's that?
That's debatable.
Well, and that's why we're talking. See, this is the beautiful thing. So, what are
Because the
your
thing
thoughts?
is, Elon Musk, about a year and a half ago, I did a video on him, and he came out and attacked the autistic community and basically claimed to cure us, fix us, and said that the way to fix autism was to put brain chips into autistic people and to make them switch off their autistic tendencies. I'm like, no, and no. One, it's highly dangerous if he was to do something like that because you're playing with brain wiring and how the brain naturally functions. And two, you're saying that you want a cure for it, and then 2 years later, you're coming out down the line, oh, I'm autistic. I don't believe a word that man says.
I'm not saying the man is a saint, nor am I saying that he's always right. That's not what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is, at a very fundamental level, it seems like he's got money. He's one of the richest men alive. I'm not naive to these facts, but I am seeing real change being affected because of this man. Now, yeah, he's going to come up with some kooky ideas that aren't going to fly. Yes, but look at all he's accomplished.
like the Tesla Motor Company.
Yeah,
which
he's
technically he's an investor of it, but he doesn't actually own it. And there's a lot of people are saying that he owns it, but he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
And then SpaceX, and now this new internet service that he's yet to release, which right now he's under fire by a lot of companies that are trying to sue him for it.
Talking about Starlink?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Hart.
Hey, Eileen.
A lot of companies are trying to sue him for it because he is advancing well beyond their current capabilities, and they're worried that they're gonna lose out, and they are, because let's face some facts. We have the technology to be able to do what he's doing now, but it all goes back to that agenda, that big business agenda that we're talking about. Oh, hey, we're gonna trickle this new technology out. We're gonna squeeze every penny out of everything. You know what I mean? Musk doesn't operate that way, or he doesn't seem to operate that way. You know what I mean?
All that's going to be fruitless when the zombie apocalypse happens. Because there will be no technology.
I'll tell you this.
That's the Z variant of COVID. Okay.
Well, I mean,
zombie apocalypse right there. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but holy crap.
Gil,
Yeah,
let me explain something.
I'm ready.
I don't believe in the zombie apocalypse because I think we already been zombified so many times. Because right now we're told to wear masks, or we're told to get the shot. Do this.
Well,
do that.
that's more along the lines of conformity.
Yeah.
Which, hey, my views on that. Boomer being real, don't get down with the conformity, okay?
No, I mean,
I take a zombie apocalypse over conformity any day.
Well, it seems like right now what we're seeing right now is happening, and a lot of people are really kind of scared about technology and stuff like that. Technology is neither good or evil. It's a tool that we all use every day.
Yeah, people try to use that knowledge, that sort of philosophy on guns too. Guns are evil. No, they're not. It's the person wielding it. Are you going to
Yeah,
say a
it's the person
sword is
who uses
evil?
it, yeah.
Are you going to say a kitchen utensil is evil because people can be
Right.
killed with kitchen utensils?
Yep. True that.
Tails
And
has a good comment. They said
and then-
they said
Yeah.
Tails says, especially with
hold
the
on.
continuous dumbing down of the American education system. Well, that's the same over here, Tails. The education system here is in such dire straits right now because a lot of children and adults, even for that matter, are struggling. They're not getting the right support, and the schools don't know what to do. They don't know how to help students at all. That it's just literally, especially since they've all gone back, about 2-3 months ago.
100% correct on a lot of
They
things.
don't know what the hell they're doing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Raymond.
A lot of people in the United States are getting so upset with the education system here in the U.S. that they're taking their kids out because of this critical race theory or all this other mandates. And, and it's like right now they're going to fight the government. The government's going to literally fight the other government, our governors and stuff like that. And they're telling people accept this narrative, and a lot of people don't want to accept it. They just want to live their lives.
Yep. You're reading my mind, John Wild.
I know. I was just typing the same thing.
That's exactly what was going on in my head.
I love it. It's so true, though.
Yeah.
History. I mean, that song came out in the late 70s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think mid 70s.
Is history repeating itself? Hell yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
it's
like there's an old saying: people who do not understand history is doomed to repeat it again, and that's what's happening right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
All I got to say is I'm glad I've been out of school for 30 years. So
yeah, I've been out of school.
Are continuing to homeschool their kids. There are more and more people, COVID aside, that are homeschooling their kids more because their school systems are, quite frankly, failing them.
Yep, that's true. I mean, I see it with my nieces that are still in school. Well, we have one left that's still in school. I think the other two graduated, but it's like, and the shit they bring home is like, I mean, I'm lost with it. Just the math alone. I mean, they spend half an hour trying to figure out a new way to add 2 and 2. I'm like, are you serious? What the hell happened here? It's like, why? And they want to change. They want to change the history books and try to, they're trying to reinvent the wheel, and it ain't working.
No, they're destroying the wheel. What they're doing.
Like all their statues and stuff like that. Even knowing that they were all the Confederate statues, and they were telling people, because of what they represent is all races.
Right.
And blacks were mostly slaves in the United States. It's actually the opposite. A lot of people don't realize if they literally learn history in Africa, which I literally did a whole entire video about how slavery was done. The majority of the slaves, even in the Roman time, were white. A lot of people don't realize that.
They had white slaves in China.
Well, hold on. I was trying to finish. And in Africa, blacks were selling other blacks in slavery.
Yeah.
They tried to deny it, and they're still trying to deny it. And this BLM BS crap is coming out of the field, which has been out for a lot longer. A lot of people don't realize this whole entire BLM started was it in the early 60s.
Education stems from a lot of different things, though. It's like recently I was reading some articles that I'm planning to do for content, and there's this one article which wound me up with a passion, and it's basically about a guy who has severe nonverbal autism. He's from Georgia, and he probably was in the wrong a little bit, I guess, because he was carrying a kitchen utensil and they thought it was some kind of serious, dangerous weapon. It turned out to be a kitchen ladle. and they tasered him over 6 times. He had burns all over his body, on his chest and his stomach, where they had physically restrained him more than 3 times. And the fact that the police are now saying, oh, we didn't do nothing wrong, we did what we needed to do to protect ourselves. No, you attacked a vulnerable guy who was going for a walk because he was in a meltdown, what has calmed down. You chased him down the road and threw him on the ground for what? Because you thought he was dangerous. It's absolutely obscene.
And this comes to my mind is what you see is what you do not always.
Education is due to lack of training and lack of knowledge.
Education.
Well, it's not only that. It's not only that.
Education also. You guys need to understand too. I mean, I'm sure you guys do, but like a lot of people need to understand the word education can be misused. Education doesn't necessarily mean you're getting good knowledge. So that you need to take into play as well. It's like that's why a lot of the school systems are like this fuzzy math stuff. That to me, that is not going to help my kid 10 or 20 years from now, you know, when they're, you know what I mean? They're trying to balance their checkbook. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I get that.
But welcome, Real Paranormal Investigation and Research. It is good to see you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I hope life's treating you well, Melinda. Last call for anyone that wants to come up on the panel and say hello. We'll probably be live for another maybe 10 minutes or so. And then maybe we'll raid somebody that's currently live.
And just like you guys are talking about, some of this stuff that's going on in education. Then they bring back the mask deal and the social distancing and all that stuff. That's really rough for little kids, you know, when they're like only 2 or 5 years old and trying to figure out what to do here. And like, this younger generation scares me sometimes. And I know my niece and nephew, they're both out of school. Thank to God for that. But I tell you, it's
can I? Because I don't know how many people ever saw the reaction I did on Tom McDonald's cinematic review. Go and look at that and see why a lot of people are afraid. You would be surprised because I put that under my Christian view, is because when you see that video, you don't realize that's where they're pushing us to. In this day and age.
Ralph Morik made a really interesting statement. They say we need Thanos. And of course, anybody that follows the Marvel Cinematic Universe or comics knows that Thanos is a villain that was trying to get the power gauntlet and the Infinity Stones to snap his fingers and wipe out half of the universe. Raymond, have a good one, buddy.
Take care, Raymond.
If that was intentional or not. But you got to start wondering, you know, Raymond came back. There he is.
My buttons went bye-bye.
Oh. But you gotta kind of wonder and this leads into my final statements here, guys. My final thoughts. Everybody's gonna have their final thoughts. Those of you in the chat, guys, final thoughts on what we've talked about today. That would be great. My final thoughts are, is humanity gonna pull it together? You know what I mean? Is humanity gonna pull it together? There's some really, really good people in this world, and then there's some really twisted people with their own agenda that isn't willing to see the light.
I'll tell you this, Gil. I don't think a lot of people don't realize what's really coming down the line and what's really going to end up happening. This could be, some people will say, oh, this is all conspiracy, but it seems like a lot of things are happening that you see in films right now can end up becoming true with maybe a year or two, something like that.
I think I agree with Gil partly because hopefully the world will start pulling together. Like, we need to be supporting each other, especially right now, especially from what I've seen in the disability and autism community. People are struggling. Their mental health is going down the toilet pretty quickly, and they want help, they want support, and right now people are so negative because they don't know what to do themselves. I've struggled myself, so I know exactly what it's like for a lot of people.
My only final thought.
Can I also say something a little bit? Look at what's happening in Australia right now. A lot of people don't see what's coming down in their country too.
They're practically under martial law.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't see it could come here. It's probably happening in UK, and I know there's a lot of people who are in the UK are getting fed up with them too.
Yeah, the UK's actually done a U-turn today because today we were meant to be launching the COVID passports. The UK minister responsible for them has now backtracked on Breakfast TV this morning and has said COVID passports aren't happening and it's against our human rights to be forced to have them. So now they're cancelling them. So that means that anyone who wants to go out to venues, like sports venues, like I'm going away, not next week, week after, I'm going away for a couple of days to an event, and I luckily already had my passport and a couple other things ready, but now they're saying, oh, no, you don't need them now. I'm like, so I spent all that money getting the document, and now you tell me I don't need it.
Yeah.
So it's pointless.
What did you have to say, buddy? Let Boomer speak, Raven, and then you can say what you need to say.
My only final thought is people are people, so why should it be that we get along so awfully?
Right.
And that's why I'm going to agree with.
This may sound cliche, but can't we all just get along?
I agree with you, Raven.
I totally agree with Boomer, absolutely.
And with that, I'm going to bid y'all adieu. I got some things to do. So much love to you.
I'll message you later, Boomer. Maybe we can do a stream at some point.
Boomer, thank you. Thank you for stopping by, bud. It's always good to see you. And I'll try to make one of your live streams on DLive soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
No pressure. But it'd be great to have you there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Much love. Keep it real.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Squeeze every ounce of awesomeness out of it, my friend.
Always.
Raymond, do you have any last thoughts, buddy?
Like even Raven said, it's better to get along. Life's too short. That's the way I feel.
I completely agree with you, my friend. And Raven, you had something you wanted to say. Sorry. I just want to make sure everybody got their say in.
Well, see, the thing is, I agree with a lot of people, and I sometimes also disagree. And it's all right to disagree and to also agree with things.
Absolutely.
Because
that's why we have
nothing is certain.
Difference of opinion.
Well, that's how we evolve, guys. I mean, somebody might have a certain path for us, and they might think it's great, but they may not realize that one piece of their plan is going to doom people. And, without that intervention from someone saying, I disagree and here's why, we're going to be doomed, right? So, yes.
It's about being open and listening to people.
Whether they agree or otherwise.
Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of people, I was so headstrong before, focusing on mainly disability issues and stuff like that, whereas now I'm a lot more into the kind of political environment and kind of that side of things. When you go, wow, Jim, why have you changed so much? I'm like, I haven't changed. I still have my core area that I focus on, but because there's so much outside of that I still need to get involved in, I stretch myself, and I'm like, actually, I'm benefiting from it because I can only speak up for myself. I've gone to political meetings. Now I'm allowed to go out and do face-to-face stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't have to restrict myself anymore. I don't have to go, oh, I can't do this because I'm able to go out and prove myself. So you have to try and change with the situation, I guess.
Change isn't easy for anyone. Some people are better at it than others, but I don't think it's easy for anyone. But it's kind of a necessary thing for humans to kind of get their heads out of their own asses, if you'll forgive the really crude vernacular.
A lot of us have our head up our own asses and we don't see it. And we
don't even realize it because our head is up our own ass. We can't see anything up there. KD scrapping, hello. You catching the tail end of the stream, brother. Great to see you, though.
At that point, I'm going to say thank you very much for having me, Gil. I need to go and get my dinner done, so I'm going to head out. But
I'm so grateful
thank
that
you
you decided to join us, Gemma. Much love to you.
always.
Thank you for sharing your poem.
You take care.
Welcome. I'm going to upload that now. I'm going to go and film it and put that up for you guys.
Yep.
So I want to get that put up.
I would love
All right,
to
well, I
see
hope you have a good afternoon,
post
Gemma.
You
Well,
too.
evening for
Have a
you.
good day,
It's getting into
guys.
the evening. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, does anybody know of anybody that is live that we should potentially raid?
I don't see anybody live yet.
I don't know if I'm still live or not. I seen him on there earlier, I think.
Yep, I keep refreshing, and I'm not seeing. Excuse me.
I mean, most of my lives are different because than most people's lives. And I'm looking at my stream and I'm seeing not too many people I know that are.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have to rate anybody right now, but I like to do that if anybody's live that that I know or whatever. But thank you all, Raymond. Keep your chin up, Raymond. Seriously, I know you're going through a real tough time right now, but just know that we love you. You can reach out. You can reach out to me privately if you want. We can talk.
Yeah, I know my mom's in heaven with my dad now. Praise Jesus. Yep. He's watching over them.
They're in a good place right now.
Yeah.
They are.
Put your faith in that, and hopefully one day you'll see them.
Oh yeah.
Because
all right, guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and remember, think positively, man. Everybody, take the initiative to make positive change. Don't do it for any one agenda. Just do it because we need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
As a human race, we need purity of intention.
Especially here in the United States.
Remember that, okay? And let that drive your decisions from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
Much love to each and every one of you. Until the next time, have a scrap happy day.
Bye, Gil.
Take care, Gil.